Hey everyone, I'm Philip Adams, and this is episode 61 of Terminal Exchange, the purpose-driven podcast show of Nussbaum Transportation. Not only is this our 61st episode, but this is our very first video podcast of Terminal Exchange. As you can see behind me here, we are getting settled into our new production studio, and we're working to put it to good use. We plan for most future episodes of Terminal Exchange to be on video, in addition to our traditional audio-only podcast. If you're listening but would like to see the video, we'll be posting every episode to YouTube and sharing those videos to their show page on terminalexchange.org. And you can continue to check back every other Tuesday to find the latest exchanges in your favorite podcast player on YouTube and terminalexchange.org. Speaking of YouTube, would you take a moment to subscribe to our Nussbaum channel and hit that like button? And if you want to be the first to know when something new posts to the channel, click the bell icon to receive a notification when we post new content. We're excited about all the new opportunities we have as we expand into YouTube and share even more about Nussbaum with you. So stay tuned. In this first video exchange, I get to sit down with recently retired driver, Jerry Risley. Jerry has been such a great ambassador of Nussbaum over the years, and he's always been so humble and gracious. It was my pleasure to spend a little time with him and his granddaughter, Britton, as we celebrated his service with Nussbaum and his accomplishments and impact both on and off the road. As a veteran driver of 34 years, Jerry's been a lot of places, but he shares of one location in particular that never gets old. To find out where that might be, continue listening for the best place to go with Jerry Risley. Well, hey, Jerry. So glad that you could stop in here today. And I know after this, we're going to have a little celebration in your honor. You've been driving with us for about 11 years, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, but you have recently decided to hang up the keys and turn in the truck and go from driver Jerry to Grandpa Jerry that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So happy retirement to you.
Thank you.
And part of, kind of talking, calling you Grandpa Jerry here is, you can't see off camera here, but one of Jerry's granddaughters, Britton, right? Did I get that right? Britton is here hanging out with us too. So really cute little girl, 7 years old. Good to have you here. So Jerry, you got some family here with you today. Who all was here?
My son and my wife and my other granddaughter.
That's fantastic to have them here celebrating with you. So I want to just learn a little bit more about you, your story, and share that with the people listening here and watching. But let's go ahead and we'll just go way back here. And just how do you remember how you got into... See, now I said let's turn off the phones and devices, but my watch decided that she was going to listen in on me, and I'm going to turn that off. Sorry about that, guys. But how did you get into trucking to begin with? Was that a natural thing, or how'd that happen for you?
I had all my friends drove a truck, and I was the last one of the group to take the dive, and jump in. And I started driving for Prairie Farms Dairy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hauling milk, and they taught me how to drive.
Okay.
And I drove for them for 5 years, and then I decided I went to Caterpillar and worked for a while, and when they closed our terminal, then I went to I started driving truck for Martin Brower out of Gridley, Illinois, until they closed that place up. I don't know, maybe I was jinxing everybody. Everywhere I went, they all closed.
It hasn't happened here yet, so.
But it was never. I never did quit because I enjoyed, what I was doing. And then from there, I went to U.S. Food Service, and then I worked there for 5 years, and then I went to Yellow Freight until they closed that terminal up. So, but I always enjoyed driving, and the time just went fast. I I would never dreamed, in 1997 when I started driving, that here we would be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so you've been, for driving over that period of time, you've been through a bunch of different, ups and downs in the industry, and just the different challenges, and times where there's been like economic crashes and everything. And then of course we got 2020 that we just came out of and still working on coming out of. But in your time, what has been some of the biggest highlights of driving and doing the job?
I think just traveling, seeing different things. Being flexible, I guess I would want to say. You're kind of like your own boss when you're out there, and just doing what you like doing, doing what I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And not many people get to experience that, they dread going to work, and, it's not really a adventure or a job, it's more of I have to do it, and that's it, But for me, it was just every day seemed new,
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, that's great. So with the traveling part, of course, that seems to be for an over-the-road truck driver. That's one of those things that, you either love or you hate, that part of it. But have you been able to hit all 48 states in your time?
I've been, and I did go into Canada.
Okay.
A little ways.
Yeah.
But and then I signed up when we were talking. The Nussbaum was actually going to start going into Alberta, and I signed up for that. But we never did get to go. But I've been to all 48.
Where's some of your favorite places to travel through?
I enjoyed going to Montana, Oregon, a lot of the West Coast places. For about 3 years, I ran steady up into New Hampshire, Vermont. That's all real pretty up there. And everybody else say that. It's beautiful country. And that was pretty, Florida once in a while, but that could get old fast. But I think more so the northwestern states.
Yeah.
I enjoyed going up there. And the snow never did bother me, or anything like that. And then on your downtime, you got to stop and look around and see the mountains and stuff. It was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah. That's still an area, the Northwest, that I have yet to travel. Personally, actually, there's a lot out west that I still have yet to see. I've done a little bit more east stuff and everything, but I got to hit some of the more extremes yet. So,
but no matter where you go, no matter how beautiful it is and stuff, the nicest thing in the world is when you pull in your own driveway and you're home. That's to me, that's the best place.
I think if you do vacations very much, I can relate to that just from even that perspective of you leave out on vacation, maybe whether it's a week or a couple weeks or whatever, and just coming back home, and it's like, it's nice to be back in my own bed.
Yeah.
What I'm used to here, we had fun for a little bit there, but this is nice. You typically are home each week.
Usually home
every
on
weekend,
the weekends.
sort of thing. How has your wife dealt with you being a truck driver over the road? What's she think about that? I know you get a chance right now to put words in her mouth. So
she's been wonderful. 34 years, and we've been married. Lynn and I have been married for 44 years, but so 34 years of 44.
Yeah, congratulations.
But we're kind of getting to know each other again, and I think at this point right now, I think I'm giving more because she's got so many habits and everything just set in her ways, and her time schedules and everything that I'm having to learn. And but it's working out. You know, it's a good trade-off because like you said, I sleep in my own bed. You know, and sitting on my own couch, and
you're not in that little box anymore.
Yeah. So I'd gladly, give up a little bit, to have that.
Yeah, totally get that. So at this point, so now that you're transitioning into retirement here, what you got right now immediately? What have you been doing? What do you have going on day to day?
Taking care of my parents and spending time with my grandkids and spending time with my wife. It still doesn't seem real yet. It's only been a week. You take a vacation and that's a week. When it starts dragging out farther, I think it's going to seem long. I'm going to start getting anxious, like I need to do something. But right now I can find plenty to keep me busy.
Yeah. So do you have any plans or expectations for over the next year or two? Any things that you're hoping to accomplish or just be able to do?
Just a lot of honeydews.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that, I've kind of been putting off that I want to get done, and just going for walks, going fishing, going camping. I got a camper I haven't been able to use, so
that'll be good.
Just I got a lot of plans, but I'm taking one day at a time.
Sure. First vacation you take during retirement, where are you going?
Probably go to Florida. I got a son that lives down there.
Okay.
So I'll probably go down and see him for my first one.
Yeah.
And then when summer comes, I got to teach somebody how to hold a fishing pole. So she's going to learn how to fish.
You won't be able to hear her here, but so I'm looking at her facial expressions here. So are you ready for that, Britton? Are you ready for the fishing? No? Fish are gross. Well,
okay.
I will tell you this. I've never been one. I enjoy the idea of fishing. I am not a fisherman or anything. That's not my activity. I don't have a problem, casting a line and everything and just doing that. That's kind of relaxing for a little while. But after about 5 minutes of that, no. After about half an hour, 45 minutes, it's okay. I've not really ever caught anything, so that's part of it. But I don't have any desire to touch the fish either myself. I'm weird that way. I don't know. I'm like a little kid like that. But.
Well, I'm like you said. I'm not a big trophy fisher type game fisher person. I'm more sit on the bank and just enjoy nature. And Britt and I, we go on a lot of nature hikes. A lot of hikes.
Very cool.
So she enjoys that.
There's a tree what fell down, and I like to
climbing on the trees, the tree that falls down, and
and it's over the river, so I climb
over the river.
Right over the river.
Okay, yeah, I know my kids would love that. So we were talking beforehand. I was talking with Britton here about my kids. I've got a boy that's the same age as you, and the kids love. Actually, I think in general enjoy that exploring and being out, and they get that opportunity. I had that opportunity as a kid just to be able to go out and do that, and appreciate that. I'm not a big woods person, outdoorsy person really, but I do really enjoy that. And there's something about being able to go out, reconnect kind of with nature, and just the quiet and calm of that, and sense of adventure with that as well. So where all do you guys hit up normally? Just close around here? Or?
Well, just in the area. Starved Rock is
a great spot. Yeah. So I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for you to get to spend some more time with Grandpa here. Are you excited about that? Yeah, that's good. So
I need someone to play with.
She needs a playmate. So you retired just in time. That's perfect.
My sister never wants to play.
So your sister is 3 years old, right? And so there's about 4 years difference between you. You guys aren't best friends right now. Is that you don't do a lot of playing together? No? Okay.
She's more into into TV.
She does TV. You like your YouTube though. That's what I'm hearing.
She hates YouTube.
She hates YouTube. What's her favorite show?
Daniel Tiger.
Daniel Tiger. Yep. I've got a nephew whose favorite show is Daniel Tiger. So,
Tons of toys.
what's Grandpa's favorite show?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Old
a
westerns and
cowboy.
stuff, or
Like cowboys shooting people.
cowboys shooting people.
She don't like cowboys because they shoot each other. She don't like that.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of an influence on me because now I watch it and I say they really do shoot each other. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. Well, some of that, the Old West stuff, that I don't know how accurate some of that is, but the movie is definitely, it's a lot of shoot 'em up and everything. That's and anymore, we've got kids that I'm worried that my kids get a little desensitized to some of this stuff that we probably end up watching too much of on TV. They end up seeing more than they need to and all that. But but you've got a really neat opportunity to invest some time in your grandkids and kind of speak into their maturation years. They in these formative years. So
And that's one. I could have worked longer. But I'm healthy. I've done it long enough, and I have the chance to do pretty much whatever I want. I just could not see, as much as I love the company. I love this. I love what I was doing. I just want to have time to enjoy it.
Yeah. Can totally appreciate that. You've had a lot of experience driving, doing a lot of different things. We're seeing now need for new drivers, new talent into the industry. What would you pass along to sort of that next generation of drivers coming in to learn from, is kind of like your mantra? What kind of advice or inspiration would you pass along to them?
Patience. There's some a lot of new people out there. They're so impatient. They right now. Patience. You're never going to know everything. Always give your chance to learn, and learn from every situation. And I'm still learning. I was still learning, but just don't be afraid to admit that you made a mistake. If you make a mistake, learn from it. Don't just keep making the same mistake.
Yeah.
So,
would you encourage them to work at Nussbaum?
Yes. I'm still going to be recruiting for you guys. I wouldn't, I always say, if I could have came here 30 years ago and knew about the company back then, I would have been here in a minute, because I would love to be retiring here with 30 years, knowing that I've been here 30 years and although I really haven't moved around much like some of these people, in 5 years they work for 5 different companies.
Right.
And
There's always another job out there.
Yeah, but I guess that's one other thing I'd say for a new driver: get with a good company and stay there, because they always think the grass is greener on the other side, but it never is. I mean, you can always find something wrong.
Yeah.
But at least Nussbaum, if you do find something wrong, Nussbaum will fix it. Will help you get through it. So,
Yeah.
there's so many situations that I always had somebody to talk to. Whether it was even at home. If I had a situation at home, I could still find somebody to talk to. So, and when you're away from home a lot, there are a lot of situations that come up at home, and you have to leave that day, and there's always somebody that wants to bend an ear and listen to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What is the importance of a good support system as a driver?
Oh, there's so much stuff comes up at home. You know, when you're gone for a whole week. It's value. You can't put a price on it. You know. Just always having somebody you can reach out to, even if it's like even with other drivers, you know, we got some of the best drivers. I mean, if you got a problem, you can call your support.
I love that we've got so many drivers that are like, they're ready to give you the phone number, but like, just call me.
Yeah. It's just incredible, and I don't know where all this stuff, because it's something that should have been in the industry a long time ago, and these other companies it don't seem to click to them that that's how important that is, having that support.
Has that sort of support from driver to driver changed much over that last 20 to 30 years? I hear from people like it's just not the same anymore. You know, used to drivers, you know, you could wave at each other or whatever. Do you feel the same way about that? Is there competition among drivers or?
I don't. There is, but at the same time, the senior drivers that have been out here for a while, they are more willing to reach out because they know that there are so many. I don't know how you want to say it. New drivers or not even new drivers, but drivers that have seemed to have lost touch with what the job's all about. So the few drivers that do know what it's all about, we kind of like get together. We kind of have our own support system in that, you know. And it's just simple things, you know. You know, if you give somebody a chance to merge, or not tailgating each other like the driver, right, like some of these drivers do now, or give somebody a couple extra inches where they need it. They recognize that and they say, "Thanks, driver," you know, and they kind of work with each other. So there is, you know, there's still that camaraderie, but it's few and far between, you know.
Yeah. I think it'd be great to see more of that sort of mentorship and just bringing, you know, younger drivers or ones that just need to maybe get that different perspective on things and have a little bit of a change of view there.
I think a lot of it's lost too in the early years of driving. If you learn to drive a truck, you learn from another driver. Well, now everybody's going to truck driving school. So when they shove you out there, you walk out with a piece of paper, but you really don't. You're not schooled in.
You don't get the street smarts from it,
right?
You know, put it in that term anyway.
And I'm not. I mean, there's a lot of truck guys from truck driving schools that are really good.
Sure.
Too. I don't want to alienate anybody, but I've seen good on both sides.
Yeah. It's one of the things I really like about our training program and the road captains and everything. That, you know, but especially for drivers coming in and getting started in the industry, that ability to go along with experienced drivers, drivers that can teach and share wisdom and everything, and just kind of to glean that off of them, I think is a super valuable experience for. And
I'd encourage anybody to use them resources. You know, I mean, even no matter how many years you got, you know, sometimes I'd go to a customer and I wasn't quite sure, especially with the pandemic, you know, how things were going, and I always had somebody I could call and say, "You've been here before, you know, what's the routine? What do we need to do?" But you have to get on the phone. You have to use that. You know, you have to use them tools.
Don't be afraid to ask and look and seek out those helps. So, I know you've given some advice here, but any hard lessons that you've learned along the way?
Yes. Slow and steady wins the race. I've learned that. You don't have to be mashing on it all the time, because somebody will pass you, and then 5 miles up the road they're stopped someplace, and you drive right by them. I think that's the most important lesson I learned. Look twice. Anything. Checking your truck. Make sure you check it, and if you need to do it, check it twice, because it's no fun making a mistake or having a problem down the road. It's better off to have it before you get on the road. So, but I haven't really had any real problems. You're just like I said, just learning from your mistakes. If you make a mistake, you just try not to make it twice.
Well, as we were talking here before we started, I mentioned, I know I've talked to you before, but you've pretty much flown below the radar, at least in my purview around, and which is probably a lot of times a good thing, as far as that means there's probably not a whole lot of issues or anything like that.
Well, the companies, if they go way back in their books, there was a few issues they had with me that
those must have been before my time.
I'm glad I got better with years. And I said, I came here, I had 21 years, but I was still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a few things that I'm glad they're all behind me.
So before we wrap up here, I'll give you an opportunity. Is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to? Anybody, whether in the company or family members, anything like that you want to call out and give a thank you to, or anything like that?
All the friends I've made. When I gave my told them about my retirement, I put in it that that my family meant everything to me, and that family extended out to my Nussbaum family, and even when I went to our customers, Nussbaum customers are the greatest people. People we see all the time, and usually the people that get to be closest to you are the people you work with. And I would go to the customers and I'd say, well, I only got 2 weeks left. Oh, we hate to see you go. Good luck. All the way up to my last day. Good luck. And I thought, well, all the people you see in a week,
Mm-hmm.
how do you remember me, But, even when you walk up there, they go, oh, you're Nussbaum. And they smile, they accept you, and it's just, just my whole family, just the whole, everybody around me, when you come in, you just smile and you talk, and it's just, it's an environment that, like I said, every time I ever hear, that somebody's left or anything, I don't know, how you can do that, how you could ever leave. And this will always be, when I ride by, this will always be my home.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. What I kind of gathered a little bit from what you were just saying is, I think to our vision statement is that we want to be purpose-driven to positively impact the lives of those we interact with.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that stands out about Nussbaum. I'll call them family members. Our people make an effort to make an impact everywhere they go. leave a positive impression. So that's why I think, you go to the customer like that, and, they perk up when they recognize that it's Nussbaum coming in instead of ABC Company over here. Recognize you, that, you've specifically been in there, and that you've made an impact. So I think that speaks to you, your personality, your ethic, to do a good job, to do everything to the best of your ability as well. So kudos to you for that, and leaving a mark where you've been.
Thank you.
I want to ask, it's been a little over about a week ago that you turned in the truck, right? And what was that like, cleaning out and turning that in?
You should ask my wife that. I've actually had 4 trucks since I've been here, and I've had this one for 4 years. And they've offered me other trucks, and I know it's just steel and plastic, but it was very emotional, and I haven't unpacked my stuff. It's in the back of my pickup truck, and it's still in there. And it's how in your little box you can accumulate so many things, And but probably when I leave here, I'll look over there and see if it's still sitting where I parked it.
Yeah.
But I always made an effort to take care of my truck, and it always got me, no matter how far I went. It always got me back, and it was very emotional for me to give that up.
Yeah. You've just been the greater part of your waking hours and week.
437,000 miles we put in it together.
Wow.
But
all of them good, I'm sure.
I figured in 11 years I've been here, I'm up over 1 million miles.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
And just every one of them, like I said, no matter how far out I got or how far I got back, and if I didn't make it back, I could call, and they got me back.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what the situation was, I never felt like I was alone out there.
Mm-hmm.
But and Britton, she's mad at me because she always wanted to ride in the big red truck, and I had to give it up. So no, she didn't get to ride in the red truck.
Oh, not even has she at least gotten to be in it?
She, you can tell them what we did.
Have a slumber party?
You had a slumber party in the truck?
My grandpa has bunk beds.
That's awesome. Use the extra bunk in there for a slumber party. That is such a cool idea. That is neat. I wonder. I want to find out if other drivers have done that too. So, if you're listening to this, let me know. I'm curious. I've not heard of anybody doing that, but that just sounds genius to me. A great opportunity with your grandkids. And yeah, I know what is the age cutoff? Is it 7 or 8?
Yeah, 7.
So you just hit that, but maybe at some point we can work something out to do a little bit more. We'll call Grandpa in on a special run. Okay, does that sound like a deal? He's gonna have to agree to it though.
Maybe if Grandpa don't adjust to this very well, then maybe he'll come back every once in a while.
I think they'll always take a little bit of part-time help, run a little somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you feel that itch, let us know. But Jerry, anything else you'd like to share or add from your experience or?
No, just that last week, everywhere I went, I guess, every state I went to, every road I went down here, I kept thinking, well, I'm never going to be doing this again. I'm never going to be in this town again. I'll never be on this road. But I'm going to make an effort to get back to them states, back to them roads and do it. Only I'll be doing it on my on my schedule.
Your schedule, your terms, and maybe you'll be able to take some friends and family along
That's
with you,
right.
and show them some of the places you've been and share in those experiences as well. That's a really neat opportunity that you've got there. So, Jerry, I want to say thank you for your years of service here, your professionalism, your example in the company. I know a lot of people look up to you. I know that for a fact.
I appreciate that.
So thank you for your example and leadership there. I would like to give you, just kind of as a little one, thank you for coming and hanging out with me, but also just for your service and as a
That's
kind
beautiful.
of little retirement gift there, Nussbaum hat. And
Tell him, does Grandpa wear hats?
so that's my gift to you there, and
Show me your bracelet I made you.
Oh,
did you make a bracelet for
she
him?
made Grandpa a bracelet. There it goes.
There we go.
And it never leaves me, does it?
And they have to make him a new one.
Eventually that one might wear out, or maybe you'll remake that one and add a little bit to it or do something different with it. But Jerry, thank you. Thank you for your time here. And it's getting close to time to, I think, have some cake and ice cream and whatnot out there. So we'll let you get to your special celebration. And Britton's given a thumbs up for that too. So
Yeah,
I'm a picky eater.
when Tian called, she says, and I never thought about it. She says, we just want to recognize you gave 11 years of your life to us. And I says, it doesn't, it's not 11 years of my life. It's 11 years of just enjoyment. I've enjoyed it. And you guys been here. Britton was born while I was working here, and her sister was born. My son was married. I lost my father-in-law, and I lost my brother. And all that happened since I've been here, and it just seems so much time just goes, That's why anybody that's here, get it in a 401k and just put down some roots and stay, and stop that jumping around stuff, because it's the place you need to be, And I tell anybody that, when people are looking for driving jobs, and it's hard because so many people are looking for drivers. But at the same time, I don't want to send somebody here that I don't think's gonna fit. So, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you found us and made that move, and I won't take up any more of your time. Thank you for those kind words. Really appreciate that, and hopefully, maybe that'll impact some people here listening and watching here. But thank you again. Go enjoy some cake and ice cream.
Okay. Yeah, come on down to the party.
We'll see you around, Jerry.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Terminal Exchange, the official podcast show of Nussbaum Transportation. Nussbaum is an industry leader in over-the-road freight transportation. For more information on Nussbaum's award-winning truckload services and top-paying driving careers, go to nussbaum.com or nussbaumjobs.com. Thanks for listening to this episode of Terminal Exchange. New episodes arrive every Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe to our show wherever you listen to podcasts and share a little love by writing us a review. Then, go deeper into each exchange or listen to previous episodes at our podcast page, terminalexchange.org.